And in this, as I've said, I notice usually the transition from consciousness to the dream world is usually maybe a sudden, like a feeling in like the heart, or a feeling like you're about to fall off your bed and you want to like snap back into it. But you just have to, if you just stay with the flow, if you just stay in that meditative awareness without any force or without any, effort or inner dialogue saying, oh, I want to be dreaming, I want to be dreaming. I mean, you don't even have to try, really. You just have to be in that baseline awareness, that meditative awareness. And as you do this, you essentially trick your mind into falling asleep. You trick your mind into falling asleep because your mind thinks your body is asleep, mostly because your body's tired, your body's been still, your body has your body hasn't moved in the past 30 minutes or so. So it's much easier to fall asleep. And in this way, you are actually conscious as you fall asleep. And what I notice is that you can actually, after you pass these tests that your mind um, puts on you, the tests of itching and wanting to jump out and wanting to snap back into it, as you just let go of all this and you don't resist at all, what I've actually noticed is that you become consciously aware as you are re-entering the REM cycle of sleep. And this is very important because your mind is still in that REM cycle of sleep because you were asleep recently. So it is very essential that you wake up after about 3 to 4 hours of sleep before trying this method. To get even better results, you should meditate even before you sleep, originally the 4 hours, because then you will be training your mind to stay in that baseline awareness. Now, as this works, you should be consciously aware as you enter the dream world. And I noticed you can be fully in the dream world, but I also noticed that you can sort of have part of your consciousness in the dream world and part of your consciousness in the real world at the same time. What I mean by this is I've noticed that there have been times where I can actually like I can see my dream, like under my eyelids, I can see the dream, but I feel my body. Um, in other times, I'm controlling a dream and I feel very integrated with that dream, but then I start to lose touch with it and I start to feel my body and I start to notice that the dream is slipping away. Now, if the dream is slipping away, there's two things that you can do to prolong the length of a dream. And this goes for any lucid dream. The first thing you can do is to rub your hands together. This is very effective. Don't ask me why, I don't know, but it works. Rubbing your hands together in a dream will make that dream more vivid. It grounds you in that dream if it feels like you're slipping away. The second thing to do, which I believe is the most effective, is to spin in circles. If you do this while you're dreaming, spin in circles while you're rubbing your hands, you will definitely prolong your dream and be more lucid. Studies have actually shown that this is something around 95% effective in prolonging the length of a dream. So these are two techniques you can carry with you. Now, another thing I wanted to talk about was, as I've said, you can be half in a dream state and half in the real world, as I mentioned. And um, I want to talk to you guys about how you can probably relate to this if you've ever heard an external stimuli in the real world while you were dreaming and you interpreted it as something in the dream. Now, another way of saying that is, let's say I'm dreaming that I'm at a basketball game. Then my alarm goes off while I'm in the middle of this deep REM sleep. Then I may perceive my alarm as the buzzer in that basketball game in my dream. So you see, you actually mix senses and you perceive, although your senses are still integrated in the dream and you still feel, the noise of the crowd and you feel the energy of the basketball arena, you're hearing your alarm, but you're perceiving that as dream stimuli as opposed to the real world stimuli in which you awaken to. So that's kind of an example of how there is a lot of middle ground in the dream world and pure consciousness, which is why I'm stressing how important it is and how it is possible to transcend consciously into the awakened state, into the dream world. Um, and as I said earlier, um, if you are dreaming, and whether the external stimuli is a scent or whether it is a certain noise or even a sensation, if someone's touching you to wake you up, these senses can be perceived in the dream world, and they can be registered as part of the dream manifestation. So there is a lot of middle ground between the dream world and between pure consciousness. And this is the middle ground in which you transcend to by by um, by going from consciously being conscious, laying in your bed in meditative awareness, to being in this dream state. You will notice a certain part of your senses will transcend first. I think the first sensation that may go may be your body. You may feel like you don't have a body anymore. And this may be one of the mind tests which you get in order to, because your mind wants you to jump back into it because your mind is testing to see if you're asleep. But as I've said, if you stay in this meditative awareness, this is greater than the mind itself. This meditative awareness is the awareness of the mind's activity. It is the awareness of thought processes and conditioned thought patterns. So it is very possible to consciously enter a dream. It takes practice, and it is best used combined with regular meditation. If you've never meditated before, and if you aren't used to being in meditative awareness, um, I would suggest to start. Meditation has many benefits. Simply focusing on the breath, to training your mind to have its baseline awareness to focus on the breath rather than flowing like a river, following your thoughts. This is very important in dreaming. Another technique is to record your dreams, all dreams, and doing so will naturally increase your dream recall over time. Then there's other ways of testing for dreams, which is reality checks. A reality check is you several times during the day, during your awakened life, you test to see if you're in a dream. You ask yourself, "Am I in a dream right now?" And you actually like try to figure out if you're in a dream. And the idea is that if you do this enough, you will imprint in your subconscious mind to actually act out this reality check in your dream. And if you act out this reality check in your dream, you will find out if you are dreaming. Now, a good reality check is digital clocks. Digital clocks in dreams are almost always disfigured. Okay? So you notice that when you do these reality checks, you notice that dreams, there are so many things that we wake up upon after dreaming and think, how did I not know that was a dream? How did I not realize that I was dreaming? How stupid must I have been? So essentially, there are ways to train yourself into integrating